I'm doing great. Well, thanks for talking to us, Barbara, about Alone
Yeah,
with You.
thank you. Likewise.
Yes, congratulations on this another horror film
Yeah.
that you got done with. But let's ask that
Mhm.
basic question: what attracted you to Alone with You for you?
Well, it was shot during the early pandemic when pretty much everything was shut down in Hollywood and nobody was doing anything at that time. We hadn't had the vaccine. We didn't really know how bad it was going to be. We were still going to the grocery store with our coming back with our boxes of lettuce and wiping them off. And it was during the really worst time. So um, I was approached by a casting director that I knew and I had worked with and respected, and Andrew Corkin and Theo James were also the producers on the movie. And I didn't really know them, but I had known of their work from their previous movies. So initially, before meeting Emily Bennett and Justin Brooks, I thought, okay, there's enough people here who believe in these guys uh, to help them make their film. And then they sent me the script and I read it and I thought it was really wonderfully written and really smartly written. So much so that as I was reading it, I thought I knew where it was going. I thought, oh, this woman is haunted, or this woman is having a dream, or, different things kept popping into my mind. And then the reality of where the thriller goes and the reveal and the twist at the end was something I wasn't expecting at all. And that's usually not the case with me. So they surprised me. So I thought that was great. Then I met them and I found that I work with a lot of first-time filmmakers, but I thought with them, from the get-go, they seemed really prepared. They answered all my questions, and they had a very strong vision for the film and talked to me about that. And they're really passionate about making the movie. Initially, they had thought that they were going to be making a different movie. And then when the pandemic hit, they sort of did a 360, wrote this script, at home kind of quickly, and then decided they were going to film this. So uh, I, I just, the whole package, after knowing all the people that were involved and reading the script and talking with them, that's when I signed on. And it was relatively a small part really in the movie because it's really Emily's film and she's fantastic in it. And to have the opportunity to work with a young person who's really so gifted and so good at her craft already was a gift to me. And so I feel very proud of them and what they created and really proud to be a part of it.
You know, doing a production during the pandemic is horrifying itself. It's almost like
Mm-hmm.
you are personally in a horror movie. Could you tell us about your setup and trying to act by yourself, literally, just alone with yourself?
Yeah, I know, alone with myself. Yeah, well, it was kind of crazy. Normally you feel like filmmaking is a collaborative process and you're on set with a lot of different people, from the grips to the camera people to the makeup and lighting and your other actors. And I had to just be by myself in my home. And they sent me a camera through the mail that I set up alongside of uh, my computer, and they filmed me on the other side while Emily's character Charlene is looking at me on the Zoom. So they filmed me from their side, and also I filmed myself and set up the camera, did my own lighting, did my own makeup, and acted and did everything. And at first it seemed like, oh, this is going to be a kind of a daunting experience because I'm responsible for everything. But it turned out okay. I mean, by that time we were used to Zooms. We'd been doing it for a few months and we were used to being by ourselves in our apartments or our homes. And so it felt okay because I did have Emily right there on the computer screen talking to me through Zoom, and I was able to respond and relate to her and see her face. And so at least I had that, occasionally working in movies, sometimes when you have to do a close up with somebody, they'll say, well, we don't have room for the other actor to be right next to the camera, so we're going to put a little piece of tape on the mat box of the camera, and that's where you're going to look. This little piece of green tape is the other actor you're talking to. So I didn't have that. I actually had the experience of talking with her and speaking with her, so that was helpful. But yeah, I was by myself, doing my own thing, and at that point we didn't know when things were going to open up. Of course they have recently. Most people have gotten vaccinated, and they do have COVID compliance officers on sets now, and we're all chugging along, and we're out there making movies again. But it wasn't as horrible as you might think. I think it turned out okay, and it was a good experience, and I'm really proud of them and what they were able to accomplish in the middle of a pandemic.
Absolutely. Now, in your expansive career, you have done, indie films and big budgets at the same time. What do you enjoy more? Because, everyone loves challenges of big films or small films, but we would like to know what Barbara thinks about these type of films.
I mean, I've worked in bigger budget things, but I've mostly worked in independent cinema. And the thing I like about that is that even though we have to work fast and we don't have as much time as maybe a bigger movie would, I do like the collaboration that I have usually with people, the director and the writers and the other actors. And I feel like there's a can-do sort of independent spirit about making the kind of film that the director wants to make. I feel like sometimes in bigger budget films, you have to satisfy, or even TV shows, you have to satisfy the executives. And in independent cinema, you're really satisfying one voice, or you're trying to elevate that one voice and help that filmmaker make the best film that he or she can make. So I really like the independent spirit of having a little more freedom in the independent world. So for me, I think that's gratifying.
That is great to hear. One more thing before I let you go, Barbara.
Yeah.
You have a lot of fans. People adore you throughout all the films that you starred under. How do you define your career if you were going to, how would you say, kind of give a definition on how do you describe yourself at this point?
I feel like I didn't know I'd last this long in it. I didn't know where my career would take me. I feel really thankful that I've been here for as long as possible. I guess I would define my career in saying that I've been fortunate enough, again, to work with a lot of first-time filmmakers or young filmmakers, and to carve out a career over a long period of time. And it's made me understand that being in this business, and especially being an actor, is a long game, and you can't ever really get disappointed or discouraged, because there's periods of time, my longest period of time was when I had my young children, and I just really wasn't able to work at all for 6 to 8 years, or I didn't choose to. And I think this career that I've chosen is the long game, and you can have as long as a career as you want to, even though you'll have times where it dips and you're not working very much at all. And then you'll have, usually surprises happen out of the blue. I mean, I plan on doing a lot of different things. And now that I'm producing, I'm working on things that I want to produce. And it's funny to me how, and I think everybody has this experience, that the more you work on something and you focus on something, the things that actually come through are surprises a lot of the time. Like I'll get a call out of the blue, or you might get a call out of the blue for writing an article or talking to somebody. You think you're going to do something this week, and then something else comes up. And so you just have to set your focus on what you want that to be, and just wait for the surprises that come along the way, and don't give up, and keep going. I think it's hard to keep going in an independent world, but if you can find other sources of income, if you need that, and keep keep doing what you're doing, making movies on the side, or if you are lucky enough to reach that next pinnacle and have work for a little bit of time that can, that can help you have the foundation of having an easy life. You just have to keep going as much as possible, and don't get discouraged. So I guess I would say in encapsulation that I'm like a train that just keeps running no matter what. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes I stop, but I just keep running. Maybe I'm not always on time, but I keep running.
That's an excellent description. Well, thank you, Barbara, for telling us about your enduring career. I can't wait to see you. I'm going to probably see you in many, many more projects down the road.
Thank you, Gig. Always good to talk to you.
Hey, thank you. Bye now.
Take care. Bye.